Today, we are gods, fighting over a dark and brutal plane of existence. Welcome to Tabletop Gaming Guild. Tabletop Gaming Guild is all about the experience and memories that playing tabletop games with friends and family can create. Today, we're looking at Feralis, designed by Luca Vincentore, Nestor Mengone, and Gildo Di Martino, and published by Deer Games. Feralis is a head-to-head card game with a deck-building element that can be played 1v1 or 2v2. To set up, you're going to select one of your Azir or God cards and take the indicated Catalyst tokens. On the Azir card, your God, a cool image, then the Catalyst tokens is available to it, and which types of divine skills, how many, and their total allowed value in incubation time. You also have 4 standees, 3 lock tokens, and 3 defender tokens, as well as a d20 to help track your health. Next, you're going to build your deck of 20 cards. You can select from up to 4 factions, paying attention to the rarity of the cards you're choosing. You can have as many commons as you want, up to 16 rare cards, up to 8 epic cards, and up to 4 legendary cards. Obviously that is more than 20 total, so common cards are going to be cards you can get out quickly. Your legendary, obviously, going to take longer to get out on the board, so you're not necessarily going to want to take the max of any one of the rarities. On the creature card in the top left, you're going to have the number for its incubation time. Top right is going to be its constitution, aka its health, with a symbol indicating its type, so either physical, corrupted, or shadow. On the middle right, you're going to have its speed, and below that, its attack stats, and if it's better at attacking a specific type. Then you're going to have the text signifying what ability it has. Pay attention to the symbol next to the text, as this indicates when and how often it triggers. There's also a large number of key terms on these cards that you'll have to refer to the rulebook, as there's too many for me to go over all of them. In the center of the card, it'll have a little shield with a number of dots to indicate the rarity. The more dots it has, the rarer the card. And below that, you're going to have the awakened state of the card, so generally the slightly stronger version of the card. If you're playing multiple games, you can form a sidebar of 5 cards that you can swap out from game to game. However, your deck still has to follow the rarity and faction limits. For the sake of this demonstration, just to make things easier, I have selected all from one faction, which is maybe not the best strategy. It's definitely the simpler strategy, but let's shuffle these in. Next, I have to pick my divine skills. Once again, the divine skills you're allowed to choose is dictated by your Azir. It will indicate types and how many of each type of divine skill you can choose, and the total value of those skills. The divine skills will have its incubation time, aka cooldown time, in the top right. Text for what it does. Then below that, it'll have the category of skill it is, which will determine whether it's one you're able to choose. I'm going to leave it up to fate and just take the first cards that meet the criteria. 9, 11, and I need one worth 2 that's... There we go. Once you've selected your divine skills, you will place them on the board in the slot that matches the cooldown timer. If you're not using the board, you can use these dice instead to track your cooldowns. Next, you would decide who's the first player. If you're playing multiple games, it's typically the person who lost the previous game. Then you would draw your starting hand of 4 cards, have one opportunity to discard up to 3 of them, and draw 3 to replace it. Those 3 you discarded are then shuffled into your deck. The game phase consists of the development phase, loading phase, main phase, attack phase, and draw phase. During the development phase, you will take down all timers. So normally these divine skills would slide down 1 step. Any cards you have prepped would be getting ready to come out, which we'll get into later. However, you do not do this on the first turn. Next is the loading phase, which you're going to be deciding which tokens you want to make available for this round. If you haven't locked it in during the loading phase, it is not available at all this round. Then you can get into the main phase of the game where you're going to be able to take 1 card from your hand and add it to incubation. If it's the first turn of the game, you may select 2. Each card is going to have a called and an awakened phase. When you're incubating, you must choose, bearing in mind that if you pick the called, it's usually weaker but shorter incubation times. The awakened is typically significantly stronger, sometimes has longer incubation times, but the key difference is if a called creature is killed, it goes back into the incubation phase in the awakened state and can come back out again. If an awakened creature is killed, it goes in your graveyard. So basically, putting a card in as a called card means you may be able to keep that card for longer. Once you've chosen cards to incubate, you will assign dice with the correct number of pips to match their incubation time. This is going to be visible to other players, and as well as they can see which side is up on the reverse side of the card, so you can see if it's a call or a awakened. If during this main phase you have a divine skill that's at the 0 timer, it is available to use. Or if you have creatures that are 0 on the incubation timer, they can come out. Anytime you use a divine skill, it immediately goes back to its slot at the start of its incubation. And it's not available again until that incubation timer has completed. During the main phase, either player is also able to use tokens that they have put in reserve. There are 2 types of tokens. There's the Defender token that can be put on a creature if it comes out of incubation. The moment the card comes out is the only time you can make it a Defender. When you use your Defender token, you must put a lock onto the token spot. That is because you have a limit of 5 tokens you can have prepped. However, shields are considered permanently using that slot. So even after you've used the shield or the creature's died, the shield's gone, that slot is still locked, reducing the number of total tokens you can use in a single turn. What the Defender token does is means 2 things. 1, this creature can no longer attack. However, if the enemy player does attack you, that they must attack the defending creature first. You'll also notice that I said that tokens can be used by all players during the main phase, or attack phase as well, but the key thing to that is you could basically play an ambush. You can have a creature out, have a defense token in reserve, and wait till they attack to put the defense token on and redirect their attack. The other token you may have is the Catalyst token. Just like the defense token, this can be used during the main phase or attack phase by any player. If you use this, essentially reduces the cooldown. So if I use this on this fine skill, I can reduce it to 0 because there's a 4 on this Catalyst, but this is out of the game. Because this is now on the 0 spot, it's immediately available to use. The same applies for cards in incubation. If you happen to reduce it to 0, it can immediately be brought out, which combined with the defense tokens can really catch an attacker off guard if you're doing it on somebody when it's the other player's turn. If they attack, you can suddenly bring out this creature and suddenly force them to attack this one specific creature. During the attack phase, you may declare attack for each creature. Each creature's attack must be fully resolved before you progress to the next one. When you attack, you may either target a creature or the player themselves, unless they have a defender out, in which case you must eliminate the defender before you're able to attack anything else. If the opponent has more than one defender out, you may choose which defender you're attacking. When you attack, you can first compare the speed of the two creatures. The creature with the fastest speed will attack first, doing damage, and if the other creature survives, then it retaliates with its own damage. When determining damage, you'll look at the creature type that you're attacking. If it's a physical attack, which is a symbol that looks like an anchor, you always receive full damage. If it has the upside down rebel symbol or the warlock Eldritch Blast looking symbol, then it has half damage unless the attacker has that matching symbol on their attack stat. And once again, if a creature dies, if it's currently in the call state, it goes back to the player's incubator and you put out a timer equal to its cooldown, incubation time. If it's already in the awakened state and has been killed, it goes in your graveyard. If your attack can hit the Seer, or otherwise the other player, and reduce their health to 0, the game ends. Person surviving is the winner. If there's no winner at the end of the attack phase, you then go into the draw phase where the active player just draws one card into their hand. If they, at this point, exceed 4 cards, they must discard 1. So that's everything you need to know to play Feralis Obscure Lands. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe as it helps to support the channel.